Jimmy's going to be taping his HBO show
tonight. I think it's
tonight and tomorrow.
7 or 8. Yeah, I'm not sure what time.
Support Jimmy and what he's doing. It's a huge opportunity for Jim Norton.
Yeah, I'm very happy, man.
The dice thing yesterday was interesting.
Yeah, it was long, but I was happy that it happened, and not even for this, for the future. It's a long enough time. Everybody's been fucking fighting already, and I hate it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I reflected after the whole thing, and it is what it is. I wasn't blown away either way, to be honest with you. Too much time has passed by. I respect the fact that he came in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's for sure.
By the way, the message boards, I understand, like fucking Flea, you really irritated me. Because I understand people are loyal to the show, but when the guy comes back on, and people are like, fuck him. It's like, I get it. Like, that's the radio shit thing. But it's like, then we can't win either way, because it's like when he's not on, people are like, well, he was really funny at NEW. Why is he not on?
Right.
And he comes in, and he pretty much just talks for 2 hours as far as what was going on with him. And, I think he was being honest, because he said the same thing to me when I was alone with him.
Right.
And he's more introspective, and I've known him for years. He's more introspective than I've ever seen him before. And something else happened which didn't come up on the air, which he doesn't want brought up on the air. But let's just say in his personal life there was something very sad and it's like when somebody goes through certain things and they come out the other side of it, and people are still like, fuck him. It's like, you know what? People fight.
That's Flea Man's post right there. I can't really read it.
Yeah, I have. It's not even that offensive. It's more like it was just annoying. I understand that Norton had to for his HBO and completely respect that, what he has to do. But what Norton has to do for his show shouldn't reflect upon O&A. Fuck you, Flea. Fuck you.
Can I tell you how this whole thing went down? This HBO opportunity for Jimmy is huge. Huge. And I just, I pulled Jimmy aside. I go, look, dude, having dice, that could be good for your show, but there's issues there, and some way or another you're going to have to deal with it. And that's what we did. That's what we did. I mean, I think dice being on the show was going to work either way.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, he could have said, yeah, whatever. But Jimmy actually spent the whole day, what day are we up to? I guess the whole day Monday, trying to figure out what he could do to make the situation better.
And would he be willing to come back for real? And he even said it can't just be like a thing for the show, because people smell bullshit. But the guy sat there for 2 hours, and look, the reality is he's doing a 10-minute set tonight.
Right.
He's not doing an hour in front of a hostile crowd.
Right.
He's doing 10 minutes at a TV taping with other comedians. I don't think he's going to get booed. I think he's going to be fine.
And, he came up here by himself, no posse, because Dice, when he walks around town, he could be intimidating because he's got a lot of animals with him, and he decided that if it's going to be a real moment, he's going to come up by himself, and he left most of the shtick outside the door, and I respect that much, I guess. I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same with me and him whatsoever.
That happens after people fight.
I have to at least say that.
Yeah.
I respect why he was mad. I respect the fact that he came up here into the lion's den and all that crap, but I don't know. I think there's too much damage that was done, to be honest with you. I'm not saying that should definitely not affect the fact that he's doing something for Jimmy tonight. I want to make that perfectly fucking clear.
Well, it's one of those things that when people fight, the fucking Flea, fuck you, motherfucker.
What now?
Just that, he's putting capitals, what he has to do, but what Norton has to do for his show shouldn't reflect upon O&A. Like I said, hey guys, go against everything you fucking little cunt. You fucking little cunt. You fucking hanger-on faggot. Fuck you.
And some people
question my motives like that, you fucking little cunt.
And some people, the haters, they're not real fans. They were trying to get it going that we were kissing his ass and all that yesterday, and there really wasn't, man. I didn't back down from my position. I listened to what he had to say, and I made it perfectly clear that his thinking sounds a bit insane.
It was, okay? Absolutely, but I don't know why. It's like when people have shit happen. It's like people fucking fight, especially with the radio show. It happens. There was and it was weird because you guys were very close friends, but he didn't talk to me for 2 years.
Yeah.
And again, if he had trashed me or whatever, I'm sure I would have been much angry about it, but I was kind of just booted off a tour, and I was very fucking angry. I was very angry because there was no explanation. And when
we didn't even bring this up in front of Dice, but yeah, there was a point that Dice blew off Jimmy for what? How many years? Like
at least 2 years. We didn't talk at all.
And then it was just a casual. What, you ran into him out there in L.A.?
So I'm at the Comedy Store, and we hugged. Like when he walked in, he hugged everybody here, and we talked about it, and we talked through what happened. And when he was talking to me about going through the divorce and being unable to talk or communicate anything at that point, I believed him. And I knew he was telling me the truth. And that was probably about a year and a half ago. So I knew exactly what he was saying, and I understood what he was going through something fucking crazy at that time. Fuck it, that kind of shit happens.
Right.
But for you to sit there, and if people, I'm not saying fuck you to everybody that doesn't want to, that's your business and your position. That's cool. I don't agree with you, but that's fine. But Flea, you personally, you fucking little jizzbag, what he has to do shouldn't affect what's on the O&A show. Like, I totally disregarded the O&A show. You fucking little cunt. Fuck you.
There you go. You know.
Faggot. I understand that Norton had to do for his HBO show and completely respect that. That's what he has to do. First of all, you cunt faggot. I'm a part of this show.
Let me.
You fucking cunt.
But he doesn't get it, and a lot of other guys don't get it. Jimmy did this more for me, way more for me than the show. HBO wanted Dice as well, and it would have been fine even if we didn't have Dice on the show yesterday. It just would have. Without getting into details, there would have been things done that it would have made the taping completely fine. And I will be. So Jimmy did not have to do this for this HBO opportunity that he has, that I think is really important for Jimmy in his career.
When I was talking to Andrew, it became apparent that he really wanted to fix things, and it wasn't just this. Because let's be honest, at a TV taping, most people are going to be cool at a TV taping. I mean, Carlos Mencia, you want the reality? Carlos Mencia went out in front of a crowd that was actively booing him, and he fucking destroyed. That really wasn't a concern. I wanted to see it, everybody behaving.
Yeah, when we had Carlos on our comedy tour last summer, we were all backstage going, "Wow, I wonder how this is gonna, turn out," because a lot of the fans, do have a problem with Carlos because some of the things that have been said by these comics and stuff. And we talked to Carlos. He goes, "Look, I'll be fine either way." And he went out there, and they tried to boo him off the stage. They really did. Or a small group. By the end of it, he pretty much got a standing ovation, threw the mic down like he was a rock star. He had one of the best sets of the night. Easily. And the same thing would have happened with the HBO taping.
That Flea, I want to fucking, I hate your fucking guts. And it's not for anything you said about Dice, and it's not for not agreeing with him being on the show.
Here's Flea.
For what? What?
Flea.
Hi. Jim, first of all, I'm really sorry if I angered you. I didn't mean to.
Well, look, you don't need to apologize, dude. I'm not even asking you to change your opinion. You're entitled to say what you want, but those two lines, that makes me fucking hate your guts. If you don't like Dice and you don't like him on the show, that's fine. But, like, I understand what Norton had to do and respect that's what he had to do. Like, fuck Jim. What I do shouldn't affect O&A. Like, the three of us don't interact and affect each other on a daily, you fucking douchebag.
Well, what I meant is, Jim, what I meant is, like, what you do personally in your career, if you wanted to do that, it's okay. I just didn't...
I got what you meant, Flea. I speak and read English. I got what you meant.
Okay. But I was just, expressing my opinion about how I felt about it.
Yeah, I know what you were doing, Flea. I didn't question that. I know you were expressing your opinion. I didn't ask you to take it down or say that you shouldn't be allowed to constitutionally. I get it. But it makes me hate your guts.
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to hate my guts.
Well, irrelevant. Everyone fucking hates you. Do you wonder why no one likes you? For real. I'm not even kidding. You're a dumb motherfucker. That's why. Not anything you said about Dice, your opinion with him being on, all of that's acceptable. That's your opinion. But when what you're doing by doing that, you fucking asshole, is you're questioning my motives, and you're implying that, like, I don't care how anything affects Opie personally or Anthony personally. I'm putting a personal agenda on it when I have never done that on the show. When we were off the air for 2 years, I wouldn't even do radio shows that had a problem with Opie and Anthony. I was on the road. That's one of the reasons Dice kicked me off the tour, because I wouldn't help promote Chicago by going on Man Cow.
Yeah, and maybe we didn't make that clear, but I have no doubt in my mind that Jimmy did that more for me than anything. I mean, Dice was booked to do Jimmy's show for HBO. He was in town. It was a good opportunity, and Jimmy said, wow, yeah, you're right. There is no closure to all that crap that went on, and let's see what we could work out. He worked the Dice thing all fucking day while I was dealing with a pretty serious personal issue on Long Island, and I was driving back to the city, and Jimmy, I've known Jimmy for, 10 years now?
Yeah.
And the Jimmy I got on the phone call driving back from Long Island Monday was a different Jimmy. I was like, wow. He was really affected by his time with Dice at lunch on Monday.
Me and Opie had a real talk in the cab on the way home. Actually, a walk home. And then I talked to it just the whole thing with this merger happening. All that stuff, I guess I got tired of the fighting. I hate the fact that Florentine doesn't come on. Like, I love the fact that Nick is coming on,
right,
and guys are crossing over.
Florentine used to do our show back in the day, and what happened with Florentine was really simple. We had, in the beginning there, we had too many guys, and we didn't have room for Florentine, unfortunately. And then he got an opportunity with Howard, and the rest is history. But he used to do a bunch of stuff for us back in the day.
And we love Jim. Jim's one of my best friends. I'm happy he's doing the tape. I mean, but I hate the fact that, like, him and Levy, and we're not all, it's just like all these comics who are all having a good time, and I hate any of that fighting. I just hate it when we were all friends.
Right.
And it was awkward having Andrew here yesterday. It was weird, but it's like, I say you fast forward a year, and he comes in a bunch of times and makes calls, and all of a sudden it sounds corny, but everybody's like okay again.
Right.
Then you're having fun times again, and I fucking hate the fact that a bunch of friends.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's possible.
What was the wow.
I just don't like that this little douchebag questioning my motives when I
wasn't questioning.
Yes, that's exactly what that is, you fucking asshole.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't questioning your motives. I openly said that. It was questioning Dice's motives.
Yeah, no, but you said what I have to do for my career shouldn't affect O&A.
No, it's not what you have to do. It's what you want to do.
Whatever, you fucking semantics jizz bucket. We're all one and the same. Why do you think that audience is there? Why do you think that the HBO specials I've done, I've had Opie and Anthony stand up and thank them because they're a part of this thing with me,
right,
and that audience is there because of these guys.
And Flea,
they're not separate.
Dice was not coming on our show. He was booked to do the HBO show with Jimmy. It was set in stone. There was no reason for him to do our show. Yeah, the timing looks a little weird, but either way, Dice was going to do Jimmy's show, and he was going to do just fine. But it was an opportunity because he was in town, and I did tell Jimmy I'm still uncomfortable because I never got an answer why the guy completely blew me off. And that's what I got out of yesterday. Now I'm like, okay, now I understand why he blew me off. I don't agree with him, but that's how he deals with things, and we're all different. I'll say that much. But guess what? I'm fine with it now because at least I got an answer. And I also learned that, being Dice's friend is quite frankly exhausting.
Yes.
And I don't really know. I don't really think I want to go down that road again. But that doesn't mean we can't do good radio down the road. But we'll see. We're gonna have an open mind. This doesn't mean that Dice is gonna start doing our show again.
Well, I got a quick question, because what I said before is, you said you were going to Dice do the show anyway, but if Dice is going to be doing the show in front of a bunch of O&A fans, was he going to be booed out of the building?
We don't know. That's why this is how this started. I didn't want them to boo, and I don't think they would boo Artie. I hope they know better, because I've done fucking Howard crowds, and they're always respectful and great. Like that fucking benefit I did for Jerry Red Wilson with Gray, they were a lot more Howard fans because I think that he promoted more than I did. I hardly promoted it at all.
Right.
So I think Artie's name was attached to that from day one I was.
Honestly, I think we mentioned it twice, maybe 3 times in passing. We didn't really do much time on that.
And Greg's a Howard guy. They're all Howard guys.
And we should have, because it's a great call.
They're all serious and Howard guys. And you know what? That crowd was fucking great to me. So I'm not really worried about Artie. I didn't want to see the crowd. It was more for the 1 or 2 people that might act up, because the taping is going to go well, dude. I have no doubt he's going to kill on a taping. I honestly don't. I think all the comics are going to do well. A taping has a great vibe to it. But then I saw this thing of like, when I saw that Ope was really, I didn't realize that fucking Ope was going to be bothered by something. And I was really glad he told me. And we walked home and we had a real heart-to-heart.
Well, I told Jimmy, I go, Jimmy, I'm very uncomfortable with the fact that, Dice is doing your show, because for the simple reason I never got an answer, and there's no closure to all that bullshit that went on. And as I said here, there's sort of closure now, whatever. What the fuck, this stupid allergy. So I told Jimmy that, and and Jimmy took it upon himself to do something about it.
And we talked all the way home. And you know what? I would never have just mentioned it on the show casually, like, hey, just behave. Like, I didn't remember all the shit that had gone on. My girlfriend and I have had major problems. I'm in a depression. I've been talking, whatever. I'm in sexual therapy. Who gives a shit? My head has not been in the right place. And I'm like, oh, my God. As we're walking home, I actually said I was sorry to Opie. I'm like, I actually would have talked about this to you. I would have discussed this with you and said, how do you want to? Because I hadn't remembered all that stuff. I forgot how nasty some of that stuff was. And believe me, O&A fired back really nasty, too. I fucking forgot about how nasty it got. So I talked to him all the way home about it.
I laugh at the people. They go, you should have went through the laundry list of things he did. I'm like, trust me, I know I did just fine fighting back.
Yeah, and
I remember some of the things I said, and I was pretty impressed with myself.
I think the hit backs, it's funny because Pete the agent, I was like, because Andrew said a lot of nasty shit. He's like, you kidding? Those guys fucking hammered him back. I'm like, oh, yeah, they did.
Right.
Really.
Dice actually made me laugh yesterday when we sort of brought that up, and he goes, well, what was I supposed to say? I was mad at you guys.
Yeah.
Yell and scream how great you guys are.
Yeah.
Well,
so what you're doing by that is don't try that fucking split thing like I'm doing something without regards to the show, because that's exactly what that is. That's exactly what you're saying when you do that.
Well, I just thought that maybe I thought maybe your special would be, something else that's not tacked onto the show.
Like the fact that everything I've done in my career since I've been with Opie and Anthony, I've mentioned Opie and Anthony, or I've fucking credited that. What the fuck are you talking about? And every audience I do, I fought to have my HBO special shot in D.C. so it would be O&A fans that hadn't seen me in a while. I wanted this done here. Why do you think they're doing this in fucking Jersey? It's HBO. They don't really shoot in Jersey.
You know what, Jimmy? You don't have to explain that shit.
But anyone out there thinking that way, this is not about him not liking Dice. That's acceptable.
There's been so many times where Jimmy's like, okay, you guys are going to sit here and you're going to stand up. I want to acknowledge you guys. And I said to Jimmy, you don't have to do that. You don't. I mean, I think it's awesome that you did. But a few times, like, Jimmy, people get it. You don't have to do that anymore. And then when Jimmy was at Caroline's last month, I went to one of the shows, and he didn't say that I was in the audience.
Yeah, it was a rowdy Friday late show.
And he was obsessing about it after the show. I'm like, dude, it's okay. Everyone knows the connection now. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
But I like to do that because, and it's not even to be corny, but as a comic, I realize the fucking audience I get is from this show. And 90% of my audience, hardcore fans, is from the Opie and Anthony show. They love it when the guys come out. And it's also a way, it's like, it sounds stupid, but I get a lot of accolades from fans live because I'm on stage.
Right.
It's like, you guys don't get that. It's like when you're in the audience and they can clap for you, it may sound corny, but it's fucking, I like it. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, I don't know, I've never separated myself like that. So when you're saying shit like that, it's questioning my fucking motive, and it makes me want to fucking spit in your face. All the other stuff you said, I got no problem with it. I don't agree with it, but you trash Dice. That's fine. You don't want him on the show? That's fine. But when you're questioning my motives like that, it just makes me hate your fucking guts.
I didn't mean to question your motives, though.
It doesn't matter. That's exactly what you were doing. So just don't ever fucking speak to me again.
Bye, Flea.